Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of a tutorial regarding Joomla websites. In this part I'm going to talk about some additional security plugins to Joomla. In the previous video we were able to secure our HTTPS connection with SSL certificates, and we also configured some security snippets. In this not so long, I hope, video, I'm gonna try to talk a little bit about some plugins that you can actually use and some other very useful things you can utilize while working with Joomla. Okay, so log into our website. As you can see, my version is 4.4. Already there is a 4.2.5 version of Joomla. So the first thing I would like to actually scratch is the index.php. You can of course do it with snippets. You can do it with Nginx configuration. I actually had it done in my WordPress video in I think part 2, when I configured all the things regarding indexes. But I'm gonna show how you can actually, without it, take care of this index. So we need to go to System, Global Configuration, and here you need to put on Use URL Rewriting on Yes. Next you need to open the website. And we'll need to add this small thing to our configuration, to our main configuration in Nginx in Joomla. So for that I'm just gonna open one of my windows. PowerShell. I'm gonna check if I have locate. I got it, okay, fine. So I need to jump to the config file of Joomla, which is here. Okay, wait a second. Need to check joomla.conf and do okay, and there it is. Change directory, or maybe just nano. Open the main. This is our main configuration of Joomla. So let's actually add this to our configuration here under SSL. Let's save it. And let's restart Nginx. I'm gonna close it down. Don't forget, of course, to save here the global configuration. And let's just log out. And we are gonna change this to a normal website, and now we're gonna change to administrator. And as you can see, we have no index.php anymore here. so the redirection works. And the thing is, if you want to block entirely index.php, because the thing that you cannot see it right now, that will mean that you cannot enter it. Because look at this, it's still there. So it's only hidden. It's not blocked. If you want to block this, so nobody will actually utilize it for anything, you need to probably do it in the security snippet, which I've actually shown in my WordPress videos. So everything is there if you want to check how to block different indexes and additions. Okay, so that was just a small token. Let's go in. Just a little tip. Let's go actually to our system and to our extensions, because that's what we were about to utilize here. So the first extension that comes to my mind, of course, the main one is the backup. So we got a Kiba backup, which is probably used by many people, since this is version 4.4. So if we go to actually access and security, then we change to site security. There isn't many actual plugins that you can use here. There is a couple of them. I've tried some of them. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. So maybe we'll start from the beginning, from the first one. So let's start with the iKiba backup as a first plugin. So let's just install this. Since it is not a pro version, it's a basic one, the free version, but that's fine. You can use it for backups as well. I'm gonna just close it down. Now we go to components and we have iKiba backups. Let's go to control panel, and here we have like our main control panel for iKiba backups. We have our configuration here, of course. We can go here and we can change things to our default profile. So here we have our output directory, so our default output directory, which is here. When you do a backup, the backup is stored in var www.html Joomla administrator components, a Kiba backup folder. So we can actually copy this, change the directory here, and at the moment in here in a Kiba backup I have only log.php, index.html, index.htm, index.php, and web.conf. So these are the things here. Log level, of course we can choose what kind of logs we want to include in our backup. So no logs, errors and warnings, all information and debug. I'm gonna just leave it here. Backup archive name, of course. So I'm gonna just change it to backup. You can change all of those things as you wish. And here we got backup type, so full site backup or the main database only. I'm gonna do the full site this time. Native MySQL backup engine. You can basically read about all of those things when you just point the cursor among them. So no point for me to speak about it because you can basically read about everything here. File system scanner, smart scanner. What do we have here? Intelligently balanced scanning, speed and timeout avoidance, large directory thresholds. Embedded restoration script, yeah, we want to have an embedded restoration script as well. I'm gonna leave it on default on ng for Joomla sites. So basically I'm not gonna change much here. I'm just gonna save it. I can change the profile name, of course. Here I'm just gonna call it main backup. Let's save it again. And let's go to our keyboard backup control panel. We got our main backup here, so I'm gonna click new backup. And now the backup is being processed. So in a moment we're gonna see what it actually spits out at the end. Okay, so the backup has been finished. Let's open our server and let's check what we have. Well, as you can see, this is our backup file. So we got the backup file here, and well, since I already done the backup and I would like to actually send this backup to another server. Let's say I would like to use an option of sending this backup to an FTP server that I actually have on my other Debian server. So unfortunately the free version of this iKeepa backup doesn't have this option anywhere here. So if you have a pro version, you can probably choose some different options where you want to store the backup. But in the free version you don't have that kind of option, so I've decided to do something different here because this backup is quite fast and it's really convenient. So to automate other things regarding let's say storing this backup on a different server, let's open a different server. And I'm gonna do a quick install of a FTP server here. So I'm just gonna install VSFTPD. I'm gonna start the service, of course enable the service. Let's check at the end the status of the service. It's running. Now I'm gonna add a user. Okay, I'm gonna call it like that. Okay, so basically this is going to be very important in this short configuration, because we need to remember this name, because this is going to be our FTP user that we're going to connect through which we're going to connect to our FTP server and send our backups from iKuba. So this username and the password to it is quite important. Okay, and next thing, let's actually add this user to the VA SFTPD user list. Okay, so it's an allow list. Now we're gonna create a directory. Sorry about that, I got some logs. I'm gonna create in my Debian FTP user FTP directory. Now let's do chown. I'm gonna also do chmod. Now I'm gonna create a directory, FTP directory called FTP backup. And I'm gonna do sudo chown. So FTP backup is gonna be owned by Debian FTP user. Now let's change the directory. I'm gonna do here chmod. Now we're gonna do a restart of the service, and we will open the main config file for VSFTPD. Now let's look for a few things that we need to set up. We need to enable this. We need to enable this as well. We need to enable this as well. And we will need to check secure CH radio, the directory. So that's fine. And now at the end of this configuration file, we will need to add some additional lines. So we're gonna use user subtoken, local root, user list enabled, user list file, and user list deny. You need to set all those options like I showed it here. Okay, now let's just save everything. Let's do a systemctl restart. And okay. So at this point we have our FTP server set up. So we need to actually create a script here on our main server, and thanks to that script we will be able to actually pack this into archive and send it to our FTP server. And you can do this script two ways. So you can do this script the way that you're gonna actually do it manually, so it won't be done by a cron job, so there will be no automation here. You have to do it manually, so when you actually run the script you will need to input manually the password of the FTP user, and then your backup from here is going to be packed and sent to the other server, to a specified location on the other server. Or you can do this, the second option that I'm going to show, that you can just make it like automatic, but it will involve installing an additional software onto the server, and also it will unfortunately require you to input your password into the script, which is also quite dangerous, because you're giving up the password to your FTP server in the script. Okay, let's start. Okay, so let's use nano. I'm gonna call it Joomla backup.sh, and here is the script that I'm gonna use. So as you can see, basically first I'm gonna zip all of the stuff that is located in the backup folder into a zip file, and it's gonna be called backup FTP with the date, of course. Secondly, I'm gonna use SFTP to send to my this file, zipped file, to my server, FTP server, via SFTP, and it's gonna land in FTP backup. So of course this is our configured FTP backup. There it is. So in this folder it should appear in this folder, because this is my FTP server on a different Debian instance. And here I'm using, of course, the put command, and I'm putting the backup FTP, so this one, a zip file, into the other server. And at the end I am just removing the remnants on my server, so that I'm removing the zip file that was created in on my main server. Okay, I'm just gonna save it and now let's run it. Oh, of course I forgot, because I need to install zip, of course, otherwise this command won't work. And now I can run it. need to input the password here, of course. And there we go, everything has been sent. So let's check what do we have in our second server, in our FTP backup. And there you go, here's the zip file with your backup. So that's the first way you can do it. That's the manual way. It's safer because you don't need to actually, like I said, input your password, but at the same time you need to do it manually without cron. Okay, I'm gonna show you the second script that you can use. So let's just clear it out. Let's do nano Joomla 2. So this is gonna be the second script. As you can see, you need to of course have the zip installed on your server for this to work. The basics are the same. The only thing is you are actually using SSH pass. You need to install also SSH pass on your Debian instance. Here you're inputting the password of your FTP server. Next you're using SFTP to send everything through SFTP. So this is how it looks. Let's just maybe stretch it out a little bit. So this is how it looks here. I'm gonna save it. Clear the screen. And of course I need to install SSH pass, because without it, it won't work. And I'm just gonna go to this directory. I'm just gonna remove this zip file from the previous handoff, so everything is clear, so we won't have anything mixed up. And okay, let's check. And there you go. Let's open. And here's your backup. So you can of course use this this script that I showed you. I don't have anything against that. You can utilize it, use it well. It's an easy way to make this Akiba backup basically automatic on your server, because thanks to this script it's fairly easy. Just remember that you need to install zip and you need to install SSH pass. Of course, now when we have this script set up, we can go to cron. But first, before we actually do this, we need to also, before going to cron, we will make this executable. So I'm just going to change to Joomla to backup. Okay, we're making this script executable. Now let's go to cron tab. I'm gonna choose number 1. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna set up my cron job. So basically my cron job is gonna run every Friday, the 5th day of the week. It's gonna run at 8:30 because this is minutes, this is hours, this is days of the week. We just need to change the name here. And there you go. You got your backups set up with a keyboard backup, and with the script you are sending the backups automatically to a different server. Okay, so let's go back to our plugins. Let's go to extensions again. And going back to our extensions, security extensions. So, like I said before, I've tested few of them. As you can see, there is not many of them here. Another extension that I would recommend is admin tools. Of course, the professional version, not the normal one. But if you cannot use the professional version because you don't want to pay money or you don't have money to pay for it, then of course I would also recommend using the normal one. So let's install. It's also a pretty handy tool. Let's go to admin tools, control panel. As you can see, we have here something called main password. If I'm gonna now actually go to this, I'm gonna check all, so all the features that are included in this plugin are gonna be protected by the password, master password. If somebody doesn't know the password, he won't be able to use the options, the full options of this plugin. So this main password is like for the super user. So let's check what we have here. We have, of course, permission configuration, so we can check what kind of permissions are set on the different files. We can even fix permissions. Just by clicking it, it will do it automatically. You can clean the temp directory also by clicking like this. It's gonna do it automatically. Check temp and log directories. Repair and optimize tables. Okay, of course it also has, because this is the free version, it also has URL redirection, where you can actually redirect different sites. If you want to use that feature, go ahead. It might be quite handy as well. Okay, so I think this is admin tools. It has a lot more features in a professional version, of course, which I suggest that you check out if you have the money for it, of course. Okay, let's check extensions again. There was quite a good tool plugin, actually, quite a good Joomla plugin that I wanted to use here on this version 4.2.4, but it didn't work, and it was called Admin Exile. You probably heard about it, or you read about it, or maybe you utilized it before on a different Joomla version. It's a really handy tool, Admin Exile, but unfortunately it's not available here. It's available on Joomla website. You can download it, but I actually downloaded the package from the website. I tried to upload the package through here. The plugin uploaded. It landed, of course, in the plugins, in the extensions. I tried to manage the plugin, and once I actually enabled the plugin, the whole site went to shit. So there was a huge error there. So I guess this Admin Exile plugin is not capable of handling 4.2.4 version, or it had some kind of error or problem, I don't know. But I don't recommend it right now. Maybe it's gonna change in the future. But at the moment when I'm making this video, it didn't work. So, and it's a shame, of course. So let's see what we have here as well. Security. Okay, so we have a Kiba, we got admin tools, we got an anti-spam, we got security check, and I would also recommend having security check. Of course, if you can afford Pro version, go for Pro. If you cannot, you can just install the normal one. I'm gonna install the free version here. So we got here security check. We can now check our vulnerabilities. As you can see, we have none. Let's go back to control panel. File manager, htaccess protection. Well, I'm not using htaccess because I have nginx here installed on my server. Joomla is based on nginx here, so I don't use or utilize htaccess. But if you have Apache and your website is on Apache, then by all means you can check out this option. We have, of course, global configuration here. So the amount of memory that you want to actually give this application or plugin. Secret key length, you can change it here as well. We got the file manager and permissions for, of course, different users of the site. For the guest manager, administrator, for publisher and super user. Let's go back to the security check. And we have here web firewall configuration. So it's basically enabled. We got, of course, our blacklist, whitelist, different methods, modes. Most of the stuff is basically turned on, so you don't need to enable anything here. Okay, so next in line, let's go to extensions. We got our brute force stop. I'm gonna install this as well. brute force stop. So we have a blocked IPs database, blocked IPs HT access again if you have Apache, failed logins, got settings here. So the first thing we need to, of course, enable the plugin, because that's what it says here. He immediately detected that I have a weak username for administrator, because I have my username is admin. Never use admin. Just remember, if you're creating an administrator account, change it to something totally different. Never use admin administrator. Everybody knows that. Everybody always tries that. Okay, so it basically, after installation, the plugin wants me to enable this and wants me to change my username. And the third thing is that he wants to get to HT access, but since this is Nginx, he won't do anything with HT access. What we have here, we got blocked IPs, allowed list, failed logins, of course the settings and logs, show lines, and all lines. Of course, to enable it, we need to go here to extensions, enable. Now it's enabled. Now he wants only for me to change my username. There you go. Okay, so the last one doesn't apply to me. So basically, this is how it looks. Let's go to system once again, to extensions, to security, securities, so it's security. What do we have here? So I was also looking for some kind of antivirus. Couldn't find one. Couldn't find a decent one here, actually. There's a thing called Watchful. You can use this. The thing is, you need to actually, after installing the plugin, you need to register on their site and log in. You can use also RS Firewall, if you'll be able to download it actually, because as you can see, there is no install button here. You need to go to the developer website. So it takes us to the RS Firewall developers website, and I want to download the Joomla for demo. Administrator demo. So this is basically how it looks. You can just take a look in RS Firewall. You got system check, Joomla configuration, server configuration, file integrity. You can perform a system check. You can perform probably a database check as well. We got system logs, of course. Okay, so we got, of course, blacklists. We got exceptions. So quite a lot of different things for RS Firewall, as you can see. I'm gonna log out right now, close it. So I cannot download it here. You can just check the demo, you can buy it. we got free downloads here. Let's check the free downloads. What do we have the free downloads? Where, well, we cannot download this because it's not here. Okay, so let's go to system. Let's go extensions. We'll go to security. Site security. What else do we have here that could be useful? Oh, well, actually, I think eyesight. Eyesight is pretty useful as well. Keeps an eye on your website, alerting by mails if any files anywhere in the directory structure are added, changed, or deleted. Of course, developer website, right? There is no install button here again. So I think I installed it once. I don't remember if on 4.2.4 it actually worked pretty well, because as you can see, it's, well, not, it's right, like not so many extensions that are working actually here. Okay, so what do we have here? We have quite a lot of things regarding captcha, if you're interested in that. Okay, so I guess I will conclude my video here. It was supposed to be short, again it was quite long. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you will be able to get something out of this and utilize it for your own purposes. Like I said, the script is free. You can use it however you want. Okay, so like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and of course I will see you in the next one.